Hey y'all, welcome back to Memaw's house. You know, over here at Memaw's house, I like to manage my home with an old school flair, using old school recipes, and most of the time using new school techniques. So, today is no different. It is the last day of 2022. Happy New Year. So, we're going to, per usual, my family and I will get together just here at home and have a little celebration of our own. At that celebration, we usually have heavy hors d'oeuvres. I'm going to do a charcuterie board and all that kind of fun stuff. But today I wanted to bring you along with me as I make a cheese ball. So I'm going to show you the recipe, give you the ingredients, and show you the new school techniques that I'm using. It's only one. I'm using a food processor that my mama didn't use when she made a cheese ball, but now I'm using because that's the way I make them. So let's get in the kitchen. Let me get off this chair, get in the kitchen, and make a cheese ball. Here are the ingredients we'll be using, and I will put the list in the description box. This recipe is super simple because everything is primarily done in the food processor. We'll start with chopping up 2 cups of pecans. I'll measure out these pecans and get them chopped up. Back in the day, a cheese ball was always on a party table. I remember being a young army wife and I would make a cheese ball. This recipe, as a matter of fact, came from the Ranger cookbook that I had gotten when we were in Fort Bliss, Texas. And this recipe was done by me by hand, all by hand, chopping the nuts, chopping the veggies, mixing the cream cheese, which is sometimes hard to do with a wooden spoon, but now I have the ease of a food processor. Now we'll set these aside and get busy with our vegetables. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the green pepper. I'm only going to put half the green pepper into the food processor. The food processor would do the work for me. Now I'm going to cut a piece off my onion. That would be just about 2 tablespoons of onions that I will get chopped. I don't want a great onion flavor in here, and you can adjust this to suit yourself based on your taste. So I'm only going to put a little bit of onion in this because I want the children to eat it, and they won't eat it if it's too oniony. So I'm going to put just a little bit of onion in this. Now I'm going to do just a rough chop on the onion and green pepper. Now it's time to put in our cream cheese. I'm going to use 2 blocks of cream cheese. So I sent Peepaw out to get the crushed pineapples, and he got me a Gribby Gold can. I only need 8 ounces. So I'm going to drain the juice off of 8 ounces of the pineapple and put that in the food processor as well. Now the final ingredient is 1 teaspoon of salt. And you know how I do. I just measure it out in my hand because I know what it looks like. Now it's time to let the food processor do its job. I'm just pulsing it a few times, and then I will get in there and push it down, mix it up a little bit, and let the food processor pulse again, and we'll do this until it's well combined. Now I'll transfer the mixture to a small mixing bowl where I can then fold in half of the chopped pecans. Now I'm going to set that aside so that I can get my mold out. Now this mold was a mold that Aunt Maxine, who is my sister, I call her Aunt Maxine because the kids call her Aunt Maxine. Anyway, she left this over at my house by mistake after the Christmas party that we had with our family. So, Maxine, I hope you don't mind, but I am using the mold, and I'll bring it back to your house when I've got it cleaned back up, unless I use it for something else. I'm just saying. Y'all know how we sisters do, but I will bring it back to you, Max. Okay, I just lined the mold with plastic wrap. Now I'm going to just empty out the amount that will go in the mold onto this more plastic wrap that I have on the cutting board. If you're not having a big event or you don't need a cheese ball as big as this, you can divide this into half, 2 cheese balls, and freeze one for later, or you can cut the recipe in half. So now I'm going to try to pull the ball together as much as I can using the plastic wrap. before we put it into the mold because I want to coat it with the chopped nuts. Now here comes the tricky part, transferring the cheese ball into the lined pan. Now that the cheese ball, nut side down, is in the lined pan, I'm going to go ahead and pull the plastic off that was originally on the bottom of the cheese ball away from the cheese ball altogether. Whew, now that plastic is off of the cheese ball, I can actually now press it into the mold because I do want it to take the shape of the mold. But I want those nuts to be on top. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out of the refrigerator, won't we? Now I'm just going to fold that extra plastic over so that it will cover the cheese ball while it sits in the refrigerator. Okay, folks, so we're ready to go into the refrigerator. Will go into the refrigerator to chill for about 2 hours. Maybe an hour, depending on how cold your refrigerator is and how quickly the cream cheese comes back together. But I will be back to unmold this. Okay, y'all, so I have transferred my cheese ball, which is a decorative cheese ball, thank you, Maxine, to my board. And my board is actually a plate. You don't have to have a charcuterie board to make one. So here's my board, and we're going to have fun. I hope y'all have a very blessed new year. We're praying for you. I thank God for you. Y'all be blessed. Bye.